Alright, so we would have started chapter 6.1. And what we're looking at is Introduction to Web Page Design. What do we have to do when it comes to web page design? What do we have to consider? What are the different elements, principles, and so on? So, when it comes to web page design, according to the chapter, when you're planning, you first plan by looking at the content. Then you look at organizing that content. But I would have actually said that there are actually two more steps before this planning stage here. Anybody remembers what is that two more steps? What was the two other steps? Two things you have to look at, you should look at before looking at the content, before looking at organizing. Nobody? Why do you want to create a website? Yes, very good. So why do you want to create and who you're targeting? Very good, Syed. Those are basically the two questions that you need to ask. Why are you creating the website, or what is the purpose of your website? So that was looked at in this paragraph here. So you need to know what is the purpose of your website. What are you creating your website for? Are you creating it for adults? Are you creating it for entertainment? Are you creating it for teenagers, mature persons, for a business, for online shopping? What is the purpose? And knowing the purpose is also knowing who you are targeting. Are you targeting business persons? Are you targeting teachers? Are you targeting students? Who are you targeting? Who's going to use your service? So knowing the purpose and knowing your target audience. So that's supposed to be 1 and 2. I think it's, yeah, your audience. So no, that's not in line with that, but basically the same thing here. So who you are targeting, who's your target audience, and what is the purpose of your website. Those are two very important points to consider before creating a website. So after that, now you go into looking at what is the content and how do you organize that content. So we're going to start back from planning your web page, and then we're going to look back at content. So Shaniza, can you read from planning to the end of content?
Your first task is to decide the purpose of your website. What do you want your website to do? This determines what content you are going to put on your web pages, how it will be organized, and how pages are linked. Content. It is very important that the message of your website is presented in a manner that captures the attention. Excuse me, sir. Content. It is very important that the message of your website is presented in a manner that captures the attention of those who visit it. The initial screen should attract visitors' interest so that they want to browse the site. The main screens in connected web pages should supply enough information and maintain a visitor's interest enough to encourage repeat visits. The use of one or more combinations of color, images, sound, video, and tone of language can capture or lose a visitor's attention.
Good. So notice here the purpose is once again mentioned. because you must figure out what is the purpose of your website. So I guess we can link the purpose also with the target audience, because knowing what is the purpose also means knowing who is going to use your website. So I guess we can say that's one, and content is going to be two. So what is the purpose of your website? Knowing what you are creating it for, who you are creating it for, that will help you to determine the second stage. What content must you have? What should be on my website? So what content normally goes on a website? There's a question to you guys. What content do you normally see on a website? What content are we talking about? When we say content, what are we talking about? Any idea? When you go to a website, what content is on a website? Indira, when you go to a website, what do you normally see on a website?
Pardon me, sir?
When you go onto a website, what do you normally see as content? Does anybody know what is the definition of content? Or is that a strange word? Alright, I'm gonna make it simple for you.
The things that are within something.
Good. The things that are within something.
The information.
Good. So for example, if I say a book has content, what would be the content in a book?
Information or pictures.
Information
Story.
or the words that are written in that book, right? So that would be the content there. So content is what is on the material or what is inside of the whatever you're looking at. So on websites that you guys visit, question coming back, what content do you see? When you go to a website, what do you see? Petra?
Sir, would it be like... Sir, 1 second. Yes, sir, that would be like the videos or the images or the information it provides that interests you.
Exactly. So the videos, the images, the paragraphs of information that you're gonna find, the animations, the posters, the ads, all of those are content that you're gonna find on a website. So for example, if you go to even this page here right now, everything that you're seeing right now is content. All of these articles, all of these images that you're seeing right now, all of it is content. And at that stage where we're at right now, the second stage here, it's figuring out what content you are going to put on your website. Do I put images? Do I just put text? Do I need to put pictures? Do I need videos? Do I need animations? What do I need on my website? So that's something you need to think about. Content. What needs to be on the website? So it's like if you have an Instagram account and you wonder about what pictures should I post up, or what status should I put, or what video should I upload, you are wondering, what content should I put on my social media? What content should I put on Facebook? What content should I put on Instagram? That's basically what you are doing there. And that's basically what you have to do for your website. If you're gonna design a website, you have to think, what kind of picture am I gonna put up? So just like how you take a picture and you wonder if this picture is gonna look good, or you wondering if the light is good, if the angle is good, if the filter is good. The same thing you have to wonder about your content, your other content for a website. If you're gonna put a video, is it the right video? Is it gonna suit the purpose of the website? Or is it going to detract from the website? How is it going to affect the website? Is it going to capture the person's attention? Like, for example, if these articles did not have an image behind it, would it be that appealing if these articles did not have an image behind it? What do you think?
No, sir.
What you said, Fantasia?
No, sir.
No. So, is that a genuine no, or because I want to hear a no?
Sorry, it's a genuine no, but right now we're going with in church. I don't know if you want to hear the word of the Lord.
Alright, good. So, if these articles did not have an image behind it, then some of them would not be that appealing. For example, Australia, its vaccine milestone. Which one looks more appealing? Healthcare worker, and noticing how the images at the back suits the article. Or you might end up seeing, like, for example, seeing this image here. Almost everyone is supposed to know this face here from watching the movie Back to the Future. When you see this face here, you're going to be thinking that, what article could there possibly be about this movie, or about this person here? So this adds more to the content. This adds more to the website. So if this website was only about text, yeah, because remember it's an article website, it's sharing news. So if it only had text inside of it, then it won't be that appealing. It won't capture the attention of persons. It's gonna be like this this textbook here. All text, no images, well, rarely any images, and so on. So it won't capture anybody's attention. So it's the same similar idea you need to have. When you are thinking of your content, you need to think of, what do I have to put that would capture a person's attention, that would make them want to stay on your website? What is going to attract persons? Is it a fancy picture? Is it a funny video? Is it maybe an extreme video of somebody almost dying? So what content would capture persons' interest? And then not only a one-time visit, but what would make them repeatedly visit? Like, for example, when you go to YouTube, their main page is going to constantly have videos on it, the main page, so that you can choose from what you want to watch and so on. And what's interesting is that it's going to constantly have new videos. If you refresh, it's going to have a new set of videos that you might be interested in. So it's not one thing you're going to constantly see all the time. Not one series of images or videos you're going to see all the time. Every time you refresh, you should see something different, something else that you might be interested in. So what is going to encourage repeated visits? What's going to cause a person to constantly want to be on your website? So it's like how Facebook and Instagram, they have a news feed, and whenever you go on them, you can refresh the news feed, or even TikTok. When you go on TikTok, you can constantly refresh the news feed, and that would give you new content. That would give you more videos you can look at. So that is actually a mechanism that will encourage repeated visits, that would want persons to constantly be on the service, because they're not seeing the same things over and over. They're going to see something new, something else that they also like. So those are things you need to consider when thinking of the content of a website. What's going to attract persons? How are you going to put it so that it makes them want to be on your website all of the time? And then with the content now, you need to think of what colors am I going to use? What images, what sound, video, what tone of language? Am I going to be professional? Am I going to be Creole? How am I going to put over the content to persons? So that can either capture a person's attention or lose it. Well, it would all depend upon who you're targeting. Because if you're targeting Guyanese, then sometimes you might want to have more Creole content than a more strict version of English, because Creole might interest them more. But it all depends on what type of Guyanese, and so all of that leads back to the purpose of your website. What content are you going to put? And especially when it comes to colors, I've talked to you guys about this here already. When it comes to colors, what do we want to consider when we are choosing colors? Question to you guys. What do we want to consider? Chelsea? Hudson? Octavia?
The age of the viewers.
Age and view. We're talking about colors.
Like you will want to put dull colors for children and stuff like that. So yeah.
Good, good. And but in general, yes, Fantasia. Oh, Fantasia is done. Yes, but in general, if you're gonna choose colors, if you're gonna choose between colors, not just brightness and dimness and so on, but darkness and so on. But in general, when you're gonna choose colors, how do you choose colors? What
Sir,
yes or no?
you pick a team of colors instead of random mixed up colors.
Very good, very good. That's exactly it. You pick a team of colors. You basically pick colors that work with each other. So you can pick colors that contrast each other. So colors like maybe black and white, or yellow and black, red and black, colors that contrast, orange and black, and so on. But colors that contrast, or colors that are in harmony with each other, that blend with each other. For example, look at this page here. We have a darker green here, and then we have a lighter green at the top here. So that is colors that are working in harmony with each other. We have another version of green here also. So this page here has a lot of variations in green. It's a color green, but having that harmony of using the same color but having a variation of it helps to add to the appeal of it. It's not one big jumbled mess of colors, whereas it's more professional looking. So when it comes to colors, that is what you can consider. Either colors that harmonize with each other, a team of colors, colors that contrast with each other. That's what you can follow. Not blue, purple, pink, and then you throw in orange and green and one set of mix of colors. No, the colors gotta work together. So After you have decided on your content, what colors you're going to choose, what images, what video, what sounds you're going to play, and so on, you need to organize that content. You need to put it in some sort of order. So how do we do that? Organization, Sahid, you could read that.
Yes, sir. Web pages should be well organized with information, arranged in categories and subcategories. This helps the user to browse through information in a sequential and logical manner so that entrance subtopics can be selected for further reading. You should therefore sketch how the various web pages relate to each other and how you would want your website visitors to view the content on each web page.
Good. So at the first stage, you should have thought of what is the purpose of your website. So you would have thought of what the website is about. So for example, maybe you thought that you are making a website about plants. So that's your website there. So let me pull up Paint. So you're making a website about plants. So what you're going to want to do now with the content is put it into categories and subcategories. So that way now, when persons are going through your website, there is a sequential and logical manner to the content. For example, you guys store music on your phone, you store music on your computer. When you store those music, what order do you put those music into? I'm sure you put it in order. What order do you choose? Here,
So please repeat.
when you're starting your music on your phone, on your computer, what order do you put those music into?
Start music, sir.
You don't?
No.
Sir, I can't even lie to you. I don't.
No. No wonder you're so chaotic.
So I'm going you to shuffle. Hope the best.
Sir, alphabetical order.
Alphabetical order, but any other order, any other specific order?
Let's put the artist first, but the
Sir, maybe like the latest to the oldest. Yeah.
Good. So sometimes you might put it based on the artist, or you might put it based on a folder that you like, so that this might be your favorite folder, and all of these has your favorite songs inside of it. Or you might have a folder with the artist's name, and then inside of it would have the artist's album, the different albums the artists have. And let me see, do I have any? Good. But you guys get the idea. When you're starting, like for example, when you're starting your music content, you put it in order that you understand, that you can find what you're looking for. It's logical to you in that it's following either alphabetically, or it's going according to the artist's name or album or the music file name, whatever the case may be. But the key point is that it's going to be grouped in some way. It should be grouped in some way. Now, when it comes to making our website, it's basically the same thing also. We're going to have a lot of content. We need to find a way how we're going to group that content. So for example now, we're making a website about plants. Now, when it comes to plants, how can we group plants? What categories or what groupings can we say about plants? What content would there be about plants that we need to group together? Science students?
Sir, species, and then you got flora and fauna, thing like that.
Good, very good. So we got species, if we can spell species, flora, and whatever else you just said.
What's the animals?
Animals, Yes, plant animals.
What? Okay, cool.
I hope you didn't believe me. Yes,
No, sir, I did not.
yes, Abdur, continue. Or does it?
So you can divide it into fruits and vegetables too. The flora you can divide into fruits and vegetable.
Good, that's exactly what I wanted to hear. Fruits, vegetables. Good. What you said was over here for the S?
It was flora and fauna.
Fauna. Okay, whatever. Fauna. Um, but it was on the fauna.
Sir, is this
Yeah.
not for plants?
Yeah.
Sir, fauna is not
Fauna is
animals.
animal.
Fauna.
Yeah.
Well, I was telling you just now.
Oh, well, I would
Flora is
know.
plants and fauna is animals. So this doesn't go on this topic.
And I think
Let
you
me Google.
spelled fauna wrong. I
Well,
think
It's
it's
FAUNA.
Yeah.
I would not know. That's not the point.
Okay.
That's not the important point. So, on the fruits, we're gonna have cherries. Next thing y'all gonna tell me cherries is not on the fruits. And then on the vegetables, we have tomatoes.
Sir, you could have done for under fruits and vegetables, flowering and non-flowering plants.
Good. Very good.
Thank you, Chitro. You're smart.
Exactly.
Don't diss me, friend. This girl don't start.
Give me a second.
Sir, you need to go back in science classes.
Great. So that's exactly what I was asking for. So on the plants, we have species, flora, fruits, vegetables, flowering, and non-flowering, and then we branch off further. So that's basically also how you design a website. Say, for example, you're building a website on plants. You need to think of what content about plants are you going to put on this website. Are you going to put fruits? Are you going to put vegetables? Are you going to put flowering plants? Are you going to put trees? Are you going to put garden plants? Are you going to put indoor plants, outdoor plants? So what plants are you going to put in this website? How can I organize it into a way that would make it logical, that would have some sort of order, that when persons go on my website, it is easy for them to find the content. It's easy for them to find all the fruits, easy for them to find all the vegetables, all of the flowers, all of the poisonous plants, everything that they need to find. It's within a category, it's within a logical manner so that they can easily find the content. So that is the organizing or the organization part of our planning. So we need to figure out what is the logical and sequential manner to group those categories and subcategories. Good. You guys get the idea?
Yes, sir.
Great.
Yes, sir.
Good. Good. So let me give you guys an example. If we go to CXC's website, University Cloud Application. Okay. If you go to CXC website, we're going to see they have some menu options here. Notice they have one called examinations. And logically, these are all the examinations that CXC offers. CPEA, CSEC, CAPE, and so on. And when you click on CSEC, what are you supposed to see? The exams that fall under CSEC. We have all the subjects here from AdMaths all the way to visual arts. So those fall logically under the CSEC exam, which was under the main category of examinations. And then through that now, you can go to your various subjects, and from those subjects now, you can find the different items under those subjects. Was the cover sheet for English? Was the syllabus for English? Was the past papers for English? And so on. So the content, all of that is content. It is in a logical manner for you to find the content. So that is your goal, to organize your content in a logical manner that makes sense. So after you finish organizing your content now, you need to set up your website basically so that persons can navigate it to the content. So that's where we are at the navigation stage now. So navigation, we're going to have Kia. Can you read for us?
Navigational links can include pull-down and pop-up menus or hyperlinks to other pages or documents. Any visitor to a website should be able to move through the main categories or pages in a logical manner or go directly to an area of interest. Hyperlinks are used to connect web pages to other web pages or locations within the same web page or external document. Other navigational links are breadcrumbs, which are seen in a single line below the web page header. Breadcrumbs show the path a visitor would have to take in hold on. Breadcrumbs show the path a visitor would have taken to access the current page, with each one being a subcategory of the one before it. An example of a breadcrumb or breadcrumb trail is home to plants to potted to flowers. The visitor can go directly to any of the pages in the breadcrumb by clicking on the hyperlinks in it, including home, which will take them back to the open screen or main web page. Another useful set of links websites can provide are those to other websites that are related to your website content. Figure 6.1 shows the address of the URL of a particular web page, also called the path.
Good. Alright, so there's quite a few information here. Let's take it into pieces. Navigational links. Firstly, what is navigational links? Or firstly, we should look at what is navigation. Anybody? What is navigation? Anybody want to look at the definition? Tell me what is navigation? What is navigation? Nobody find it as yet?
So, the process or activity of accurately ascertaining one's position and planning and following a route.
So
Basically, knowing where you're going.
good. Knowing where you're going. Good. Very good. Like the nutshell. So knowing where you are going. So that actually leads back us to our planning, the organizing of the content. So by putting the content in a logical manner, it basically helps us to navigate or to know where we are going. Because if it's in that logical manner, then logically, if we head in this direction, we should end up where we want to be. For example, if we go back to that same CSEC website, if you've never been on this website before, then logically you should know that once you see the word CSEC, say for example you want information about a CSEC subject, then logically you should click in your mind that once you see this title of CSEC on the examination, then all the examination subjects for CSEC should be under this link here. So that when you click on it, you should see all of the subjects. So that is navigational links. They help you to navigate to where you want to go. So in this case here of CSEC's website, these menu options that you're seeing at the top here, these are called navigational links. They take you to where you want to go basically. So they give you a bunch of options, like a bunch of categories, and you choose which category you want, and it takes you to that location. So it helps you to navigate to where you want to go. That's the purpose of navigational links. So navigational links are basically hyperlinks. Anyone know what is a hyperlink? Or would like to describe what they think is a hyperlink?
Guys, I have blue line team jiggle. It's
Good,
click on his face somewhere.
good. It has a blue line. The text is also blue. And it takes you to another location when you click on it. Good. So hyperlinks, they not only take you to another page, some of them also allow you to access a document. So sometimes when you click on hyperlinks, they allow you to download a file, they allow you to download a PDF, a music file. Those are all hyperlinks also. So hyperlinks serve different purpose, but they're basically linking you to something else. So hyperlinks, they can be used to connect you to another web page, so you can go from one web page to another. Say for example, you're on Facebook and you click a link, it can take you to YouTube. Or hyperlink can also take you to the same location, not the same location, it can take you to another location but on the same page. So for example, if we scroll down, let me go back to CXC homepage. So for example, CXC homepage has quite a few information when you scroll up and down. So for example, if there was more going down, then it can take a while to scroll. So there could have been a link at the top here that when you click on it, it's going to scroll down automatically to that section of the website. That is also a hyperlink, taking you to another location on the same page. Or as mentioned, it opens an external document, like when we download a video, when we download a document, when we download a music file, and so on. So hyperlinks take you to another location or takes you to a file, and navigational links help you to navigate a website. So that means, is a navigational link a hyperlink or not? Can they be called one and the same? You gotta ask yourself, are they functioning the same? Does a navigational link function like a hyperlink?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it does. Because as I mentioned already, these links at the top here are navigational links. So when you click on one, what happens? It takes you to another page. So it's functioning just like a hyperlink. So navigational links are in fact hyperlinks. They take you to another location in that case. So next, what is breadcrumbs? So not the literal bread, not the literal crumbs that fall from the bread. I'm sure all of you heard about the story of Hansel and Gretel, or you at least watched the movie.
Yes, sir.
Good. What was the purpose of leaving the crumbs of bread?
They find their way back home.
Good. So that they find their way back home. So that they know what is the path they took to find their way back home. Now, I'm not sure if Breadcrumbs was actually named after that movie or that story, but it's the same analogy. We have a breadcrumb trail that basically tells a person what is the path to go to a certain location. So, for example, the with this breadcrumb trail here, if a person wanted to go to the flowers page, then they would basically need to open the home page, open the plants page, open the potted page, and then they can access or then they will see the link to the flowers page. So this is the logical manner, or this is the logical path based on the organizing that the person would have done, that they would take to reach this certain page. So for example, with our logical design that we have here, what would you say is the breadcrumb to go to vegetables? What's the breadcrumb trail to find vegetables? Vegetables is here. Remember, breadcrumb trail is the path. So basically, I'm asking, what is the path you have to take to get the breadcrumb? Liverpool?
So you basically just gotta follow Flora and you're gonna find it.
What's the starting point?
Well, from plants you go to species, and well, let me say flora is flowering and non-flowering.
Mm-hmm.
From flowering plants, you gonna go to vegetable.
Good. But the thing is that when, say for example, if this was an exam-based question, if they're gonna ask you what is the breadcrumb trail, you need to give them basically the full trail. So that's why I ask you, what is the starting point?
Plants.
Good.
Then you go to flora, which is flowering and non-flowering, and then you go down flowering plants, and flowering plants go to vegetable or fruits. But in this case, you're going for vegetable.
Good. So, but you missed out species, but I'm assuming you were talking about the logical manner based on what you were thinking. Good. But that's basically it. So in our case here, we would start off with plants, we would go species, we would go flora, and then we reach to vegetables. This is our breadcrumb. This is our logical path here. So breadcrumb trail, it's the path you take to get to your destination based on that organizing that you would have done. Now, one thing to note for the breadcrumb trail, it doesn't mean you have to go through that path, because obviously you could always go to the flowering page if you save the bookmark on that page. But if you were to go to that page directly, you're going to always notice that you still, based on the organization of the website, it was still through these other pages that you would have had to go on through. So even though you're not going directly, you can go directly to any page, logically, behind the scenes, it's still that logical path that you are taking. So for example, if you look at the top here, it shows you cxc.org. If you can see that, cxc.org. Now, if you click on examinations, it's not going to allow me. Okay. So if you click on CSEC, good. So notice it has examinations and then CSEC. So even though I did not go to that examinations page, it's still a logical manner I had to pass through. It's still a logical page I had to go through. And then I reached the CSEC. So if you click on additional maths, notice now it changed entirely. It's no longer under that logical manner. It's now on the subject. So cxc.org, subject, and it's under additional maths CSEC. So it's no longer under examination CSEC. It's a whole other different part now. So it took me basically to a different branch. So if I click on SBA here, okay, so that's going to take me. So this is an example of hyperlink that's taking you to another location on the page. So this is taking me to more information on the page. But that there is taking me to a whole other section or a whole other category of the CSEC website. So that's basically the breadcrumb trail. What path you're going to take to your file destination. So for example, also, it can be compared to like when you're on your computer and you're looking for a specific file. Say for instance, I am looking for this file here, Cape and CSEC 2021. How did I find it? I had to go to this PC. I had to go to downloads. I had to open documents. I had to open school, and then I found the document. So that's a breadcrumb trail there also. I didn't have to go through all of that. I could have simply created a shortcut, and I could have put it on the desktop, and I could have just simply gone to the desktop and double click on it and I get it. But logically, if you check the location, it's still inside of this destination here, still inside of this path here. So that is the breadcrumb trail, what path you are going to take to get you to a location. You don't have to follow the path, but it's still the logical path that you're going to go through, no matter how you get to the location, because that is how the person would have organized the content. Now, the name of a website or where a certain page, the name of a certain page can be called the path, because that's basically where it is located. That's why it's called the path. Now it can also be called the URL, which is the name of that address. Anybody remembers what URL stands for? The first word starts with a U.
Uniform Resource Locator.
Very good.
Locator. I'm tired of saying this,
You have?
Sir, all the time. All the time.
Well, at least for CSEC, you remember it. When Liverpool after the answer.
Yeah, I got it.
Good. So these three words, these three terms, they basically mean the same thing. Path, URL, address. There's other terms we can even call it by web address, web link.
Star uniforms.
I think Akila has a delay in her internet. But that's correct, Akila. Very well.
Shut up here.
That is the path to the website there. Alright, so let's look at economy now. So remember, we're still planning for our website. So we just looked at how we plan for navigating our website. We use hyperlinks, we use navigational links, we use the breadcrumbs, we use the paths. That's how we navigate. So we're looking at economy now.
Sir, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. What role does economy play in designing our web page? Indira?
Yes, sir. From economy, sir.
Yes.
Economy. You should be aware of the number of web pages a visitor must view before seeing the page of interest. Also, not all users have the same internet connection, so modem speeds up for dial-up customers may increase the time taken to view a page that has many images or videos. Websites aimed at or optimized for mobile devices also take this loading time issue into consideration.
Good. So, economy. We got to be careful that we do not put persons to go through too many pages. So, for example, if we go back to our plant shop, look at how many categories and subcategories we have. Yes, there are a lot of categories and subcategories, but is it effective for us to put them to go through all of that pages? So, click on. I have to click on plants first. And then when they click on plants, click on species, and then flora, and then fruits, and then flowering, and then they're gonna find a cherry. That's too much work. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages just to find one cherry, and we're missing other things there also. So we got to think of also when we are categorizing, we don't want to put too much categories basically falling under one another. We could branch off. So that way we shorten the categories and we shorten the amount of pages that they have to go through. But in the same time, we still try to be logical. So we have to be careful with how many pages we are creating, how many pages we're sending them through, and also we have to be careful with the quality of content we put up. Are we going to put 4K images, 8K videos, high quality animation, lengthy songs and all of that, fancy colors and so on? That is going to take time to load on a person's device, on a person's computer, and especially if they have a slow internet connection. So that wouldn't be fair on that person. That wouldn't be in the interest of that person, because if that person is going to take a while to view your web page, then that person is not going to want to try your web page all the time. They're going to look for a site that is going to be more easily accessible to them. So when it comes to content, we need to ensure we take persons into consideration. Would they stay on our website going through all of those pages? And is their internet fast enough to download all of the content, to view it in time? Can they load all of the content that we're going to put? So yes, we can put a lot of videos, we can put a lot of pictures, but the question is, when is it too much videos and too much pictures that the website takes a while to load? You ever open a web page and images take a while to load?
Yes, sir.
I'm wondering where that's gonna happen. Let me try YouTube. So you see how it's taking a while to load? So imagine if my internet was much slower, then that would affect the experience a person would have on your website. So the more content you have, it means the more they have to download, and that can affect their experience. So the last area is security. Chitra.
Yes, sir. Security. A website should have ample security features to ensure confidence if users are providing sensitive information such as credit card or personal information. These security features should include measures to prevent hackers and viruses from compromise, com, compromising the integrity of data, information, and hardware.
Good. So you're creating a website, and the website, say for example, the website is for online purchases. So buy and sell items, to do or to even transact business. And you're going to be collecting private information from persons. You're going to collect what is their name, phone number, credit card number, address, a set of personal information. Are you prepared to protect that information? Do you have a system set up so that if Abdur try to hack into the system and take all of that information and sell it on the black market, can you prevent that from your web page, from your website? So that's something you need to think about. If your website is only going to be for sharing content, then obviously then you don't have to worry about security because persons won't be sharing their personal information with you. But if the purpose of your website deals with handling personal information, then obviously you have to look into security because you need to protect your customers' information so that persons do not misuse it. And not only from persons misusing it, but also from viruses because hackers can put viruses onto your systems whereby they would delete the information, not just take it, but delete it because not all hackers want to steal. Some of them just want to destroy. Some people just want to see the world burn. So there's different reasons as to why you would want to protect the information on your website, and that is the area you also need to look at. So that is number 6 there. So these questions, we're going to review them next week. So look over them. So we're finished with chapter 6.1. In review of this chapter, what we basically looked at in this chapter, we looked at what is a web page. It is basically a document, just like a Word document, and we use a browser to view a web page. We use HTML to make a web page, and HTML has codes called tags. We use HTML to share documents, link to other documents, and so on. We looked at the different categories of websites: static, editable brochure, dynamic, e-commerce, and so on. And then the different types of websites: shopping, information, social networking, mobile, and so on. And then most importantly, for you guys, how do you plan for your website? So when it comes time for your SBA, how do you plan to build your web page? First, you need to think of what is the purpose of my web page? What am I making it for? Who am I making it for? That will help you to determine what content do I need to put. And then when you're thinking of the content, how am I going to put it so that it captures somebody's attention, so that they're going to want to continue to visit my website. Then you're going to need to look at how do I organize the content? What categories and subcategories would I put it in? What links am I going to create to allow them to navigate my website? What breadcrumb trails would I create? And am I going to make it economic? Am I going to make it feasible enough for any person to be able to access my website? And then lastly, is my website secure enough? Can Sahid hack into my website and take my content from my website? So say you have up a video, can somebody hack into the website and steal your video and post it as their own? So those are things you need to think of, consider when you are planning for a web page. Do you guys have any questions before we end? Any comments, any additions, any recommendations, suggestions, clarifications, comments? All right. If no other concerns, we shall end here for tonight. Enjoy your weekend.